This is Trailblazers Leagues, a temporary game mode where we complete tasks to unlock new areas, gain points to unlock powerful game altering relics, all for the ultimate end goal of Dragon Cup. This is my journey. While editing, I decided to knock out some teak logs. I think I have about 1,200 in the bank, and that is the amount I need. Even though I have fire sale and I can train construction with runes, I actually need planks to complete some tasks. So I spent about an hour and a half at teak logs, I think, and now we can turn those into plank. Luckily, we have last recall, which will not be as good as banknote, but it will still be really good for making these planks. All of the planks have been made. We're ready to start Mahogany Homes. The only thing we need to get is one item that's going to help with teleportation. And I'm going to be killing Lizardman Shaman for the Xeric Talisman to help me get around Zaya a little bit easier. I do have the Fairy's Flight, which almost replicates the Xeric Talisman, but it's good to have. It's a task to get it. And this also gets me killing Shamans, not only for kill count tasks at Shamans, but also a good chance at the Hammer. It's a 1 in 125 drop to get the Xeric's Talisman, so it shouldn't take more than 15 or 20 minutes to get, I don't think. There it is. I think it was like 25 kills in. I got the Xeric's Talisman. I'm going to wait out this anti-poison because there is a task that requires you to be poisoned. And the Lizardman Shaman is a very good place to get poisoned. We can use the Lizardman Fangs we got, and now there is charges on the Xeric's Talisman, and it was a medium task to equip that Xeric's Talisman. Additionally, there is a task to pray at an altar while poisoned if you are in Mulch. So those two tasks together, very good. The tasks that I want to get done have to do with Mahogany Homes. There are a lot of tasks here, and even though I have 99 construction and an easy way to get 25 mil, I think this is definitely worth going for. First off, just doing one of each contract is 200 points. The full outfit is 200 points, and then add another 80 points in for getting the saw and the plank sack, and you're looking at like 500 points, not including contract count tasks. So this is pretty good, and it shouldn't take too long to get that done. But I'm going to start off with the beginner contracts and work my way through doing one of each. That is all of the individual contracts completed, meaning I can now pick whichever contract I want. It literally took me like 5 minutes to get 200 points. I don't know why I didn't do that before, but we will eventually want to purchase the plank sack, the saw, and the full constructor's outfit, taking a total of 2850 points. And there is a decision on whether I do hard contracts, like the expert contracts, getting 40 points each, or I do the next tier, the adept, which are the teak contracts, which give 32 points each. I decided to do the teak ones just because it means I get much more logs banked per hour, because I would have had to go ahead and chop like 700 mahogany logs, and I felt like chopping 1,200 teak logs was faster. The most annoying part of Mahogany Homes is done. I have 350 points, which allows me to purchase a item from Amy over here, specifically the plank sack. That is a medium task, but also it's super nice because the plank sack can store planks, which means I can have up to like 40 planks in my inventory, and sometimes I'm doing 3 or 4 contracts without having to bank, instead of banking quite literally every contract. I was vibing so hard, I didn't even realize that I got 500 points, and I can now purchase Amy's Saw. And equipping Amy's Saw is another medium task. It basically just acts as a saw that you can equip, which is pretty nice, though I don't get to flex the xeric crossbow anymore. We now need 2,000 total points, so another 1,800, so we're looking at like 50 more contracts, somewhere in that order. It shouldn't be too shabby. It's going pretty smooth so far. We've got a bit of a method down with last recall, where after every single contract, I always last recall back to Angelo, because there's only one right beside it, and all the other ones I teleport away. And then that way, I always have the last recall right back to a contract. So it's like I have a better version of NPC contact. And then for the Falador steps here, or the Varrock steps, later I'm able to just fill up my planks and steel bars as needed. Got over 2,000 points, actually back up over 2,100 points, so I can buy the full outfit, but I'm so close to the 100 contract task that I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's only 7 more minutes. And that is 100 Mahogany Homes contract. That is a hard task, and I think that's probably going to be the end of Mahogany Homes. It was like up to like 2.5 million XP per hour, which isn't bad, but I can get 7 mil XP per hour in my house by buying one piece of the Carpenter's outfit and equipping that, giving us an elite task to equip a full set of the Carpenter's outfit. Overall, I think this took about 2 hours if you include the time to make the planks and do all the contracts. Especially if you're paying full attention, you could probably do it even quicker. But in terms of collection log, I'm actually also going to purchase one supply crate, so that counts for the collection log, bringing my collection log total up to 427, because I think 500 is going to be an elite task. We'll want that, but 9 limestone bricks, which I don't think I need anymore. I am back at the pest control. We now get slightly more points per game. It's up to 56 points per game because of the combat achievements. I think I need to get about 2,000 points. I haven't actually done the math, so probably every 1,000 I'll go turn them in. But my goal here is to get 99 attack and strength. And the motivation behind this is that I'm starting to do raids level content, and that raids level content is going to require me to use melee a lot, and I want to have the maximum DPS possible. And it takes so quick to get 99 that it's definitely worth it. And I can work on 25 mil experience while I'm raiding. There is 1,000 Void Knight commendation points. Let's see how close this gets us to 99 attack, and it'll give us a good idea of how many we're going to need in the future. So we're going to start with attack. There is a 120 combat. We got it along our way. I think there's also a task for 126 combat, but 1,000 points got us to 97 attack. We probably need another 300 for attack, and then probably the 1,000 for strength will work because I'm slightly higher. So I'm going to go for 1,200 points. Pretty much out of my arrow shafts. I made 33k headless arrows, and I'm going to go ahead and trade with the squire here and purchase 1 billion rune arrow tips. These are slightly more experienced than broads, but I do have to spend more time buying them as the downside. Ended up purchasing just about 33,000 rune arrow tips. I don't think this is 99, but if it's not 99, it should get me extremely close. That took about maybe 10 minutes of purchasing, and now I'm actually going to gain some good fletching experience. Yeah, we gained 3,000 per craft now instead of the 240 we're getting before, so that should go very quickly. In terms of points, I'm up to 766, so I maybe got 10 games left in me before I got max in both attack and strength. There is 1,200 Void Knight commendations. I think this is enough, or it's at least going to be enough where I'm going to be like, screw pest control. But let's start off with attack. We got 100 points. Level 98. And I think this will be level 99 attack. And then we can start on the strength. I still have 1,000 points. Okay, I got to level 98 strength. I can get the rest of that at Tombs of Amascus. Screw pest control. Alright, it's time to go for Toa, and I'm going to go for the 505 to get the Fang Kit for the 400 points. Essentially, this is just a 305 with the Blazing Tombs on. It adds 200 Invocation for free. So all that does is increase the stats of the enemy. As you can see, they're all plus 202% there, but if I were to turn off the Blazing Tombs, it just goes to plus 122%. So that will be what is going to be different. It shouldn't be too much harder. The more thing is like the HP is going to make it longer. I do have the 40-minute timer on, so I'm hoping I can make it through that. But we'll see how it goes because my mage setup is really bad for P2 Wardens and it could end up being really long and go over the 40-minute timer. I decided to start off with Baba because it has relatively low defense and I can get away with ranging it, unlike something like Kefri, which has high defense. I made some really big mistakes in this room, but that did not take any supplies, and it was a sub 2-minute kill. Super great to get that done, and I'm going to move on to Zabak as my second room, and the reason behind this is I already deal so much damage, so that there's no reason why I should need the extra damage from salts, even though it will help my range DPS a lot. Yeah, Zabak's going to be so easy every single time. I just got perfect Zabak and perfection of Krondus on my very first try. That was a 119 Zabak. But I wanted the salts for Kefri because rubies aren't going to be as effective, just by virtue of the fact that it's over like 5 phases rather than a 1 HP pool. But on the other side, the Sage's Axe will be powerful because I can use it on every single phase. Kefri has been the worst room so far, just by virtue of the fact that it actually has really high range defense. So I'm not hitting very well, and I can't really rely on rubies because each of the phases only has like 500 HP. So once I get a singular ruby proc, I'm basically already done. But didn't even get to use the axe there. That was a 330 Kefri. I think if I had a BGS, that might knock it down to like 300, because the higher invocation you get, the more effective reducing the defense level is, because they all multiply off of that. Now the fun part of the raid, we're 15 minutes in, and we finally got to use another style, and spoiler alert, it's probably not going to go that well. I brought all my food pretty much just for this room, and also all my prayer, because I'm not going to be doing as much damage, and if I'm doing less damage, I need to actually use prayer. And for the final phase, this is what I'm probably most worried about on the entire raid. If I can get through this, I can get through it all. There we go. Yeah, that was easy. Now, P2 Wardens, or at least the mage portion of P2 Wardens, is probably the thing that we can agree is going to suck the most, as it's based off of your... Oh, I'm hitting 10s. That's actually not bad. Hitting 10s is good. Now that my mage level is up to 92, I'm doing a little bit more damage here, because the damage you deal here is based off of both your accuracy and your damage. I think it's the min hit goes up with higher accuracy, and the max hit goes up with your higher max hit. So you always want to have gear swaps, even though you're hitting 100%. And you're just gonna chuck the axe, and the kill is done. We got Hardcore Tombs, Better Get Moving, Amascut's Remnant, and Something of an Expert myself. And that also got us 200 combat achievement points. And this is the 500 complete. It looks like at 500, it's going to be about a 75% chance at a purple, as this will go up to 15% when I walk through. And it will be about 5 times. So let's see what we get. And we get a purple. Hell yeah. I did a total of 15,800 damage. Wardens is pretty slow at 12 minutes, but almost all that time was spent on P2. Let's hope we get a shadow here, so that P2 goes a lot smoother. We got the 1 in 24 chance at the shadow. We got like a 50% chance of getting a duplicate, and we got like 1 in 6 chance of getting... Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. But I got a lot of shit here, including the Cursed Phalanx, the Menophyte Ornament Kit, which I won't be able to use because you need an Arcane for that, and the Masori Crafting Kit, which I won't be able to use because you need a Masori Assembler. And we can attach this Cursed Phalanx onto our Otsmison Fang, and we get the Otsmison's Fang Ornament Kitted. Now we look like a good gamer. I was insane at 55 seconds back. Holy shit. Alright, no purple. That was like a 75% chance that we didn't get. But let's open the chest. Hopefully we get something in here that's good. Mahogany logs are good if I want to do the final 200 contracts. but I was really hoping for some dragon darts. I'm gonna try using the Archaea spellbook for raids, as thralls might be the best way of going forward. And how we do that is our Master Wand is able to auto cast Undead Grafts. It just takes 1 blood and 12 fire runes. Wow, that is a lot of fire runes. But at the same time, we can also summon Thralls, which will do about 1 DPS. And I'm hoping that that's going to make any time that I'm not like ranging considerably better. I'm mostly looking at P2 Wardens because I do a 10-minute Warden, and I basically insta-kill P1, and I almost insta-kill P3. 7 of those 10 minutes is spent on P2. All right, we got another purple. Let's see what we get here. I'm not gonna drum roll too much because honestly, you get purples so often with the 75% purple chance. But let's see what we get here. We picked up another Auspician's Fang. Throw that into the bank, and now 3 fangs. It's like it's the main game. Well, that's enough Toa for now, and we're gonna go to Chambers with the friends. I'm just waiting for them to get all geared up, and the best part, and the reason why I saved fletching, was for this kind of group raids. You know, you're just chilling here waiting for them, but you can't really leave the area to go do a task or something, but I can train my fletching up, and by the time I get through all my Chambers raids, I will probably have 50 mil fletching. But we're going to be tri-breeding stuff, but mainly going to be focusing on trying to range everything. One of the people in the team is going to be maging, and there's 2 rangers, so we're just focusing on avoiding all the rooms that are melee focused, like Tecton. Chambers went perfectly fine, was basically able to range everything except for the melee hand. Even the mage hand, I was dealing more DPS with range than mage. It takes 1/3 of the regular damage, so if I were to hit a 21 normally, that would change to a 7. But because my mage is so ass, 1/3 of my range DPS is still way better than my mage DPS, which means I guess I can drop mage except for the crab room. First raid down, and Smackbar continues his gearing adventure, getting his rigor prayer scroll. I think once everyone gets back up to speed with Chambers, as we all haven't done it for like almost a year, that we're going to move on to those more challenging mode raids very quickly to get considerably more purples per raid. All right, I picked up a weapon, and that is the Dragon Hunter crossbow. That is a unique item that is going to be super sweet here. I was hoping my first weapon here was going to be a T-bow, but the Dragon Hunter crossbow is a very good drop as well. That's sweet. As it compares to the xeric bow, it's actually worse, but I think it's going to be better on Ulm, and I'll just be using the ZCB for special attacks. Oh yeah, I'll have to do some DPS calculations, but that is a elite task complete. So I did the DPS calculations, and the Dragon Hunter crossbow is 10% better on Ulm. So for the actual Ulm fight, the xeric crossbow is just going to be a special attack weapon. With our first Chambers conquered, that's going to be the end of the video. As you may have noticed, I got a Torva plate body, but haven't been using it yet. Might have to go to General Groddar next time to improve that melee gear. Stay tuned, but have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.